Lewis Hamilton has just been blindsided, not by a competitor on the track, but by his own team. In a move that's left the 7-time world champion reeling, Ferrari has officially announced they won't be bringing their long-awaited SF-25 upgrade package to the Miami Grand Prix. Now, on the surface, that might not sound like a big deal. Teams delay updates all the time, right? But this decision speaks volumes about Ferrari's mindset right now. And it could be a crushing blow for Hamilton, who's already enduring a rough transition into life in red. This isn't just about a postponed floor upgrade or minor aero tweak. This is a strategic pivot that reveals everything about where Ferrari stands and how they're handling a season that's already beginning to slip away. Before we unpack what this move really means for Hamilton, how it's likely to impact his momentum, and what might happen if the situation doesn't turn around fast, there's a lot Ferrari isn't saying publicly, but we'll break it all down. After another bruising race weekend in Jeddah, where Hamilton only managed P7, more than 30 seconds adrift of teammate Charles Leclerc, there was one reason to stay hopeful: upgrades. Ferrari had previously hinted at a performance boost coming soon, something Hamilton urgently needs to get a handle on the unpredictable and inconsistent SF-25. But now that hope has been deferred. Team principal Fred Vasseur has confirmed the team will not debut any upgrades in Miami. Instead, they'll wait until the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. The reasoning: sprint weekend format. With just a single hour of practice before qualifying, Ferrari doesn't want to risk introducing changes they can't properly evaluate. Logical? Sure. But for Hamilton, it's yet another setback in a season already stacked against him. After the Saudi Arabian GP, Hamilton was brutally honest. There's nothing, no answer, just pain. He went on to say there's no visible solution in sight, and that the rest of the season might just be, in his words, painful all the way through. He's even canceled personal plans to fly to Maranello and work directly with the engineers. That's how serious this has become. Hamilton is officially in damage control mode. The problem is that this car doesn't just need tweaks. It's fundamentally misaligned with Hamilton's driving style. His strengths, late braking, sharp corner rotation, subtle throttle control, are being wasted on a chassis that just doesn't respond the way he needs it to. Meanwhile, Leclerc, while not thrilled with the car himself, seems to be more naturally in sync with its handling. And with Ferrari now delaying meaningful changes, the performance gap between them isn't shrinking, it's widening. But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about Ferrari not upgrading the car. It's about who they're designing around. In his comments, Vasseur said the team is taking a race-by-race approach, just like they did last season. On the surface, that sounds methodical, but dig deeper. And it starts to feel like they're still building the program around Leclerc, not Hamilton. Leclerc currently sits 5th in the drivers' standings with 47 points and a couple of podiums under his belt. Hamilton, down in 7th, 16 points behind, and yet to break into the top 5 this season. The message, intended or not, is loud and clear. Ferrari is leaning on the known quantity, and for Hamilton, unless things change quickly, that may be the harshest surprise. Did you know that 99% of you watching right now aren't subscribed? If you enjoy my content and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. It takes just a second, but it means the world to me and helps keep this channel going. Join the family and let's grow together. Now back to the story. Let's talk about the real story behind Ferrari's latest call. Miami is a sprint weekend, and yes, team boss Fred Vasseur says there's no time to properly test upgrades with the limited running. On the surface, that sounds reasonable, but if you dig just a little deeper, it raises a much bigger question. If time was always going to be tight in Miami, why didn't Ferrari bring upgrades earlier? Or at least develop a phased solution tailored to Hamilton's needs? Instead, they've pushed everything back to Imola, hoping for perfect conditions. Clear skies, no interruptions, flawless execution. That's a gamble. And for Hamilton, it means another entire race weekend stuck with the same car that's been holding him back since day one. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc keeps extracting more and more from the SF-25. He's already praised the new floor from Bahrain as a positive step. Sure, the car isn't perfect, but Charles is clearly getting more comfortable and his results are trending upward. That matters. In Formula One, momentum is everything. Right now, Leclerc is building it. Hamilton is watching it slip away. And it gets more complicated. Vasseur has hinted that internal discussions are heating up. Technical director Loic Serra reportedly wanted to delay the Bahrain update because the car's balance was still off. Now, with Miami skipped, it's clear. Caution is winning out over risk. That may sound wise on paper, but for a driver like Hamilton who thrives on fast evolution and sharp feedback loops, this conservative approach might be the wrong call. So here we are. As the countdown to Imola ticks on, the pressure is mounting. This isn't just a race anymore, it's shaping up to be a turning point. Not hype, not speculation. Ferrari's own decisions have made it the weekend. All eyes will be on the upgrades and whether they deliver. Because make no mistake, Hamilton didn't leave Mercedes to battle in the midfield. He came to Ferrari chasing legacy, chasing history. But right now, he's trapped in a car that won't respond, stuck behind traffic, and watching as the team seems to quietly pivot toward the driver delivering the goods, Leclerc. And let's be honest, it's no longer subtle. By holding off on the Miami updates, even knowing how much Hamilton is struggling, Ferrari has sent a message. We'll move when we're ready. And that's telling. When a team is truly all in on a driver, they don't wait to hand him the tools. They fast-track him, prioritize him. That hasn't happened here. To his credit, Hamilton's not sitting back. He's canceled personal time, flown back to Maranello, and buried himself in data and sim work, looking for any edge. But here's the harsh reality. None of that matters if the car simply doesn't suit his driving DNA. And if that's the case, Imola may not offer relief. It might offer clarity, the painful kind. Because what happens if the updates don't work? If the qualifying gap to Leclerc stays wide? If the car still fights him through every corner, overheats tires, and it refuses to rotate on entry? What does that mean for the Hamilton-Ferrari project? The preseason romance was one thing, but in the harsh light of race day, people will start asking serious questions about strategy, direction, trust. And remember, the rest of the field isn't waiting. McLaren is rising. Red Bull's still deadly. Even Mercedes, despite their chaos, is capable of breakthroughs. In that kind of competitive storm, you don't get to play the long game. You have to act. Ferrari's delay puts them on a razor's edge between patient planning and costly hesitation. And there's a mental toll too. Every disappointing lap, every frustrating session, this eats away at a driver's confidence. It affects the dynamic within the team, the communication, the belief. Ferrari risks not just losing performance, they risk losing Hamilton's faith. That's why Imola isn't just another stop on the calendar. It's a stress test for the entire Ferrari-Hamilton alliance. It's a defining moment for their development plan. It might just determine whether this bold, high-stakes partnership truly has a future, or if it's already on borrowed time. So, buckle in. Because whatever happens next, it won't be quiet, and it won't be simple. It'll be emotional, it'll be dramatic. And it might just shape the rest of the season and beyond. If you've stuck with us this far, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget the bell so you never miss an update.